I'm muted, so let's unmute. That's number one. Anyways, Happy New Year. For those of you that will be joining the stream, hope you all are excited for 2026 and have good upcoming plans and things set up. I am sick. I have been sick since last Thursday, and this is going to be a little bit of a chill, relaxing stream, even though it's going to be a hardcore save and kind of run through. But let's just hop into creating a new world, wilderness survival, difficulty. Let's do one life, 12-day months. I'll just bump that up. Okay, world map, micro block chiseling on. Only first repaired by glue. Temporal storm, 10 to 20 days. Shorter world generation. 50%. Nah, 60%. 9 cover scale. Man, 500. Let's do 400. Upheaval rate, 20%. Landform scale, 120. And then, yeah, I think I'm good to go. Boom. Peaceful Hermit Valley, because that's what Vintage Story is known for, being extremely peaceful. On the survival list here. So we got a nice little slew of mods today. Everything to increase immersion as much as possible. And combat overhaul and other things installed. Much like what we did in the last couple streams. This is a test because, you know, I want to do another hardcore Let's Play series all the way through Vintage Story. See how far we can get. If we can actually finish some of the story elements. Am I sick? Ha ha ha. Yeah, boy, I'm sick. You know it. You know it. I'm really 80% better. If you guys were gonna be like talking to me on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, you would have seen me just literally dying in bed. I would have sounded like a character in Vintage Story, just making honking noises while rolling around with like 103-degree temperature. Alright, feel better? Thanks. Appreciate it. Yes. Yes. You missed that dog. Best doggo. Alright, we're going to play as Lumberjack Samurai again. And we'll go with... let's do Rust Mage. Pull, 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 pull. Oh, this trader got stuck in the water, guys. That's no bueno. That's no bueno. Oh, it's an artisan trader. That's pretty cool. Okay. Artisan trader. Yeah, so this is hopefully going to be a chill stream, even though we are on hardcore. We will start to play a little safe, for sure. Man, I'm always spawning in sandstone nowadays. I need to go this way to try and find a better rock to get started with. That is the wrong thing to make, but I guess I'm making it. Let's try that again. And actually make a knife. First things first, we'll get our bags. Oh my god. Let's see how long Uthris can talk before losing his voice. That's going to be the challenge today. Considering it's already lost. Did I get lucky with any rope material? Nope. Alright, bags. It's the name of the game. Oh shoot, I have a wrong setting. Normally I delay mobs by a couple days, don't I? To give myself some time. I did not do that. I just realized that. So it's probably a good thing I actually made a spear. In fact, we're going to make a shield too. Alright, so 2 bags. Let's get a shield. Let's just play this kind of aggro, you know? So we need 6 sticks for a shield. And a few cattails. Okay. I think it's this. Yep, alright, got a shield. We'll get a spear. Alright. I think that'll work out fine. Alright, let's start getting moving in the direction that we wanted to go. We'll have to find some shelter pretty quick in this direction. Hopefully we do. Hop, 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 hop. So how's everyone's Friday? Or that's not, it's not Friday. It feels like Friday because of the holiday. How's everyone's day going? I'll just say day. Maybe I'm sick enough to not know what day it is. Oh boy, we're gonna need to find... okay, well this is coast. We are going to need to find a little bit of a forest edge to gather building materials too. And then get some sort of lean-to up and running. You need a bourbon? There you go. Yeah, New Year's is never really a holiday I ever did much with. Never really did New Year parties or anything like that. I always felt like after Christmas, I was like, wow, you guys want to get together so soon afterwards? I just saw you. I'm tired of you. You know what I mean? Well, look at the shoreline. It's looking pretty cool. Not much fresh water around to find cattails, though. That's a cool mountain range right here. That's a cool one. Always nice to see like an ice cap. some sort of interesting plateauing going on out there. Not sure what's up with that. Alright, we are still claystone. We do have a trader here. We got red clay. Oh, copper bits. Solid early find. Is this an actual ocean? Yes. Look, some ocean fish. We could actually see some of the new coral reef stuff. I want to get around this little cape just to kind of see what's all up in here. Also, it looks like there's andesite, which will be a better stone to work with. Trying to move fast. Well, we do have a spear and shield. And I can fight some Jeffs. The shivers are going to be the problem. Those are the hardest hitting kind of mobs on the surface. Boats are, of course, their own problem, but mainly because they're ranged. Alright, so we got some larch. Larch is a good wood. Larch also has usually a lot of ivy on them, like this. Alright, what's the in-game time? Alright, so it's 1 p.m. Let's see if I get lucky and there's a trader. Yes, in this valley up here. I want to check out this valley. We're all ready to celebrate the semi-quintennial. We'll start the year-long celebration right off by pushing the like button. Jeez, that's a heck of a word there, Gallon. You're making me cough just by having to pronounce it. Oh. Like I said, since I'm sick, there might be some times where I'm just not talking. How was everyone's holiday, by the way? You guys have an okay Christmas and stuff? I started getting sick on Christmas, so that was pretty rough, but, you know. Semi-quincentennial, AFK, half 500, the 250th anniversary of USA land. Good old USA land, man. so glad the fathers named us that. Okay, we're free from that little jungle-y cliffside. Let's see what's in here. A little bit of a barren hillside. An inlet, which is kind of nice. We could build here. We got trees on one side. Not much on the other side. At all. I'm gonna see what this trader is up here. He is... oh, fucking dick. Okay. That's how it's gonna be, huh? Just get out of the hole. Must get out of the hole. Ah. Must climb for freedom. Climb for freedom. Get me out of here. No! No! I was so close. Okay, so that lost us a lot of time and a lot of health. Great. Man, look at this freaking mountain range. This is a cool little valley. We do have a freshwater lakes up in here with a giant cathedral with probably a lot of hostile mobs. You don't have a bed. He doesn't live in a big enough spot. That's not good. Is there another trader nearby? That's too small too, I think. Oh shoot. We're really in trouble. If I can't find a trader I can sleep at, then we are in big trouble. I'm gonna have to be reliant on sleeping through the first night. No. Okay, so there's some cattails. That's good. That's a good sign. We take that. Hey, give me my cattail. Get another little basket here. Ah, yeah, they're not. I see that. Okay. That's bad. That's bad. There's enemies. Alright. Hopefully this other trader has a bigger abode for us. You know, let us crash at his place on this first night. That's the Hope. Red wine cap. Okay, that's a actual mushroom I can eat. Always mark your mushrooms. Sadly, we're not a malefactor, so we're not going to get our double harvest, which kind of sucks. Oh, food vessel. Some grains. Not amazing, but I'm going to eat them to try and get my grain food bar up. Just so I can get more max HP. That kind of looks like a full-size trader cart. We might get lucky here. We might be able to sleep here. There's some cattails up by this lake too. Even on this side of the mountain range, it's very pretty. Alright, you have a bed? Oh, sweet. 7-hour bed. I mean, better than nothing. Oh, treasure hunter trader. Dang. Treasure hunter trader. Alright. Treasure. Okay, well, let's use the rest of the daylight, get our last bag. Maybe our reed basket as well. So that we can start storing some stuff. A couple reed baskets would be good early on. And then the next day, we'll have to worry about finding a place to settle down, which I think I have an idea on where. And we'll build our little shelter, hopefully. At least that's the hope. Boom, 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 boom. Perfect activity is low. I'll need to kill a shiver at some point to figure out what their damage type is, so that I can build armor specifically for them. Yay, VS on New Year's, Miss Uthris. Hey Jazza, how's it going? Did you change your username, or is that just YouTube displaying it wrong? I don't know. You also have sick Uthris on New Year Friday. The best kind of Uthris you can get. Yeah, I know who you are. It's just I don't know why it's Jalen 80. You know, like I don't know if it's displaying right on my end. YouTube is just weird. That is also true. Well, it's definitely a little windy out there based on that lantern. Alright, cool. We have a place to fall back to for sleeping. Dang, that's a huge ruin too. We're getting a lot of big ruins. I'm thinking about living in this little inlet beach area. In fact, if I'm going to do that, I should bring these cattails with me. So I can move them closer to base. The nice thing is, it's actually next to a real new ocean, so maybe it'll hunt for some fish or something too. Maybe make a fish trap. Wow, YouTube. YouTube's just not the same, man. It is not the same. Alright, do I have some time? I probably do. Just gonna grab some food. Unless there's no food. That's a black bear. Whoa, there's grip length? What does that do? So I can have a short spear? Or a long spear? What does that really do? I'm assuming it just changes your impact point, so if they get close you can adjust it. Okay, there's a wolf there. Get back to the trader. Decent amount of berries over here, though. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and just bring them. They're not flowering right now. If they're flowering, I'll leave them. If they're not, I'll bring them. And we'll just bring them back towards our little bay area. Sitting on a dock on the bay, watching the tide. Okay. I've never seen quite a large snowcap. That's a big one. How's the Oral Fury server going, Jeslyn? It's June. As much as I'm kind of interested to play on the server, I'm also kind of like, it's not hardcore enough for me. I got all my immersion stuff turned on in single player right now. So we might record another hardcore full playthrough this year. This next year. Tomorrow. Alright, we can sleep. I think. We have enough for one basket. I'm gonna get a second basket. And also some additional cattail roots to bring for future is harder than their other servers, but it's as hard as Uthris ones. That's the standard. Not their server standard. Uthris standard. I turn down my difficulty when we do servers, guys. Because no one wants to play on like an Uthris overly difficult server kind of thing. In fact, for the hardcore series, I'm thinking about doing a rule of I cannot progress ages until I survive 2 in-game years. 2 in-game years in the current age. And that applies at the metal age. So I can't go into the copper age until year 3. What would I like? What would I like? You know me. What is it? Also, I want to bring enough roots back for at least a basket's worth of cattails. Though I'm going to need a lot of cattails for the roofing mod. Man, I love the new VS roofing mod. They did such a good job at it, making immersive and stuff. World Border will expand 1K blocks every hour all day. This is to ensure players base near spawns so the server isn't loading too many things at once. So I was probably overly hard last season on that. It's just in the past, block building games and stuff, it is pretty hard on the server to do that stuff. General didn't really seem concerned about the server performance in that regard. I thought it would introduce more and more rubber banding, which didn't seem to happen. I think that happened more from the amount of mods that we had, plus the types of mods. So I do want to potentially make a smaller world size, because there's just no need to have like 1,000,000 by 1,000,000 world size in this, unless it's like a forever save or something, right? No more copper, nice. I mean, it's still going to be big enough to where you're not going to really still reach the edge too easily. I'm sure Dark could, if you really wanted to. I think the thing that'll... The biggest things that'll happen from like a working together standpoint and progression standpoint will be the introduction of Salty's progression mod, so that I can just simply turn off certain tech progression until certain times that I deem good for the server. And then other than that, it would be no X skills I think X Skills is just too broken. Honestly. It's a good mod. Don't get me wrong. I do want combat overhaul next run. I probably won't have the alchemy mod on, but I'm not sure. Everyone enjoys it. I just don't want to spend the time to nerf some of the high-end stuff. You don't like Laviosa? Why is that? What's... Is it because it makes it harder? Alright, we need to figure out our house situation. I'm getting distracted. Alright, 6:50 a.m. Let's head back to our beach. The regular alchemy is hard enough. Yeah, but like you guys at the end seem to have plenty of stuff. So I guess I just don't understand. It just never really seemed like it was an issue. Okay, another spot for shrooms. Good. Mark all that stuff out. Cattails are here. Alright, so for our house, or at least our shelter, I'm going to have to do a bit of digging around, chopping some trees. Man, look at this valley. This is so pretty. Why does it feel like I'm in Washington State right now? Or Alaska? Let's get to the water. Alright, so home-wise, go see if this cave goes anywhere crazy. And yeah, it kind of does. Ooh. Alright, here's a cave that kind of just doesn't have anything going on. I could kind of be caveman for a bit. Let's make a shovel. Actually, I have rope now. You know what could be cool too? Let's do a lean-to. What do you guys think of a lean-to as a little shelter? That was kind of my plan for the hardcore series as well, but I want to test it out first. See how it goes. So this rock face can be the side of the house. You know, we'll just build a lean-to roof out from it. I think that'll be pretty. Plus that way we are close to the shore. Because normally I do like a dugout A-frame, but I kind of don't want to do that this time, so let's... Let's get some dirt and start kind of backfilling a little bit. Which I'm sure I'll replace with a different floor or something later, but... Alright, let's get an axe. We should probably actually make a whetstone now. If we're going to be chopping down trees. This looks like a beauty. Yeah, let's give a little bit of a sharpen. Yeah. Timber. All right. Let's do this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I'll just do that for now, temporarily. Hmm. One, two. No, that's not right. Yeah, that's correct. And it gets some packed dirt. A little bit easier to work with than using logs. Let's see, I could have the wall here. That gets us a 3 wide interior. That's a little on the light side. A space? If I get the roof out 2 more, I'd be able to have at least a 5 wide interior. Which is a little bit more my speed. Nope, not right. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. Alright, let's just 1, 2. 2, 4, 6, There we go. We'll do something like that. I have to bring the ground up a little bit around here, but we'll just have a nice big lean-to. What mods are you using for that? Sorry, I was talking to the guys on Discord. For the roof? It's the new One Roof mod. It's called VS Roofing. Yeah, no, it's really, really cool. I really like that you could stand on the supports too while you're building it. And like walk around on it. Okay, well that'll be the roof. I am really low on food. That's not good. I haven't solved that as an issue yet. Yeah, then you have to fill it, yeah, and stuff. And depending on what you fill it with will change. And also different framings can support different roofs. So us, at our tech progression, we're probably going to be doing thatch. Even though it's pretty boring to gather, but it's kind of our only option. We can't do like wooden plank shingles or anything right now. So it just takes 4 thatch. You come over and it fills it in. It keeps the roof thin too, like this. Yeah, I mean, it's... You could do slate, copper, wood, basic wood, sod, glass roofing, clay shingle, bamboo, thatch. Those are the types right now. And depending on what you have in the offhand and stuff, you do it in stages. Actually, hold on. One second, Chad. I need to go blow my nose. I didn't bring any tissue in here. I'm dumb. I'm back. Yeah, no, I have flu A, which can turn into pneumonia. So I'm hoping it doesn't do that, but I've been sick. I started getting sick on Thursday, so Christmas. I started with a cough. Friday, the cough turned into a fever and congestion. And then Saturday, worse fever, full congestion. And then Sunday, a little less fever, but still high, like 102. Oh my God. You know, technically, I really shouldn't be even streaming right now. Okay, so let's have window here, door there. Boom, 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 boom. Just caught the death throes of a family member's. No, I'm pretty sure I'm patient 0 in my family right now. I don't know what I did to deserve this. And of course, the later that it gets, and the more that I talk, like talking makes it so much worse. If I sit here and I'm quiet, totally fine. So it might end up being an ASMR stream at some point today. I think I'm actually going to fill this side in. And then this side will get the door and stuff. Like, you know, I even had to go to like a hospital on Saturday. I was that sick. And it takes a lot for me to want to do that. Like, I had almost, probably a 104 degree temperature. At one point. It's one of those things too where you're just like so fevered and delirious. You're just like I just roll around in the bed at that point, and I sound like a vintage story character. I'm just like as I'm slowly dying over time. Yeah, these boulders that come with Terra Pretty are really nice. Some of them are even hollowed out and stuff. So maybe in the actual series that we might end up doing on hardcore, I might find one that's a little hollowed out for just some extra interior space and do this. But I like the lean-to. I like the idea of it. We got cough medicine after pretty much recovered. Yeah, that's how it goes. The other year I got sick and didn't think I had any medicine. It was like super late when the sickness really hit me. Made it through the whole night. Next morning, go to the store and everything. But it was like the most miserable night I've ever had sick by myself. And I get home from the store and go to put the medicine away. And there's already fucking medicine in the cabinet. I just didn't look. Either I was delirious or something, but like, man, I felt so dumb. Alright, so we'll waddle daub this long term. And we'll probably won't finish thatching it until tomorrow, just due to the amount of daylight that we have, or don't have. Really. That'll do. I think I have to make it all the way up to that trader to sleep safely, so we have a heckin' run ahead of us to get up there before it gets too dark. Just gonna store some stuff. All right, let's go. We'll have to find some food on the way too. Luckily, there's a fair amount of berry bushes around. To choose from. Yeah, just pick up berries on the floor, that's fine. It was in a raccoon's mouth, but you know what, that's just extra calories, I think. Alright, cool. Max out on food. Now, salt water. You can't use salt water to water a field, right? It has to be fresh. Or is that not a vanilla thing? Normally we have culinary artillery and some farming mods installed. So I forget sometimes what's exactly vanilla versus not. Always fresh. Okay. Because I have a water transportation mod enabled too. Do I need... I want more cattails? Probably. Since we made it up here. Can never have too many. Do I color code my traders? No, I just label them. I always just use teal to make them always high visibility, and then over time as I use them, I just slowly remember what they are. It makes sense to color code them, just like kind of anything else in this game. I used to color code them a lot more, or color code more things, but as I've kind of progressed, it's just been kind of like, eh. It can be a lot to micromanage sometimes. By the way, those frames did take almost 54 cattails for that roof. Color code them for me sometimes mostly add different traders so they mess up my yeah. Hey, I'm excited for the next update. I believe all traders are getting a complete building rework, right? I don't think they're going to be living in these little wagon things anymore. Based on some of the devlogs that we've seen. And I think that's a good direction. The wagons kind of made sense initially, but since there's now like caravan right and stuff and like things to actually make movable wagons as a mod, it makes more sense to have more of a stationary kind of survival outpost thing, especially since the traders actually don't move. If they actually moved a little bit, that'd be interesting. Not in vanilla. No. I mean, maybe one. Maybe. I don't know. For sure, but... I've only ever seen the wagons, you know, without better trader and stuff. I've only ever seen the wagons or group of wagons kind of thing. All right. So I have more cattail roots. That's good. A little hut inside of a palisade. Okay, that's cool. I mean, that's a treasure hunter for me. Right? I'm gonna go up in here, just kind of look for some mushrooms. Surprised I haven't seen like a whole bunch of puffballs. Usually puffballs are super common in these plains. Yeah, I've done that a lot too, as I've gotten, if I'm like playing a game for a while, everything I do is kind of like translated to that control scheme in a way. Based on the hoof prints and the blood trail, it went this way. Let's hunt this little deer guy down. Dang, they swim fast. Oh, dick. Nope. Oh, okay, it started charging me, man. It might be fun to be a hermit again on your next server. Look, I like it when everyone kind of builds their own little thing. You can build close together with other people, but I like seeing what everyone does from like a holistic base standpoint. Oh, blue clay. But also, I like the big builds too. I love, you know, what you guys and Forge and Blink and Dark do together. That's for sure. And next season, this is what the terrain's gonna be like too. No rivers next season either, I don't think, unless it's in the native game, because the river mod just has too many issues with like world config stuff. So like I can't change the world height with the rivers mod enabled, which makes Terra Pretty, I think, look lesser, because this is what it should look like and stuff. I really wish the rivers mod would have let me change the world height, but alas. Here, well, while we're moving, we'll just sharpen our tools. It's a big thatching day. Which reminds me, I can just start getting grass. Man, early game scythe would be great. Or a sickle would be nice too. And I do want, right now Art of Growing isn't updating. I'm hoping the next Vintage Story update, it will again. You know, that bears concerning. It's fine. But what I want to do is turn off seed spoilage. It's an interesting mechanic. I'm okay with it. But if you need to, like, take a break for a couple of weeks, well, all your seeds are gone by the time you get back. So, that's a little annoying from, like, a farming standpoint. That, like, I'm fine with my fields dying, but don't let my seeds spoil. That was a little rough. Because when they spoil, you lose all that time it took to get to the better seeds and things. What did you guys think over in Athenia about Art of Growing, Jazza? I think it was kind of hit and miss on with some people. I'm gonna need to gather a bunch of sand, dirt, dry grass, clay for the wattle. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times 4 is... Well, I'm blanking. 24. So it's what, 24 times... however many rows we have of roof to do. I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 24 times 7 is how much thatch we need for our roofing. Which is just, you know, about 180 thatch, I think. I'm just gonna break this knife. There we go. Let's go back and start a fire. And then we can... Man, I'm dying. I'm dying, chat. I'm just dying. This may be Uthris' last stream. At this rate. Alright, I need this to be able to vent. I'm gonna stick that here. Let me grab a log. I'll just split it. So there's a little fire starter. Come on. Come on. Oh my god. I've never had it take this long before. Hey, Draconius. Oh, you know, we're just getting a little bit of adventure story tonight. Trying to get our first little shelter completed. Stay 3 in game, so hopefully we don't have to run all the way up to the trader and back for sleeping anymore. Alright, lean-to is almost sealed in. We're also going to need to make an advanced beginning door, which we have 3 rope, I think. Yep. That's why I didn't bother using a rope for this knife. All right. It's my test server. I am doing, I think, a new hardcore single player let's save or let's play at some point. Hold on, I need to cough for a bit. Anyways, yeah. So my plan is to do a new hardcore save, and this is kind of a test dry run of some mods that I want to run on it. A little bit of a building technique I want to try, which is this lean-to against a boulder kind of style. Just to make sure all the mods are kind of jiving, you kind of have to do almost like a playthrough in survival. So you actually like do the recipes and stuff. So, you know, one life challenges are, you know what, they're super fun in my opinion. There's not something I do like all the time, but I think one a year is always something cool as a way to challenge yourself. And you know, I still build for looks. And if I die, I lose. You know that build. I'm dying. It's fine. All right, the roof is filled in. We got a bed. Now I need a door. Crude door. 2 logs, 3 sticks. And then I need an advanced crude door, so it'll never fall off its hinges. There we go. So now I can open this and close it as much as I want. It'll stay up. Alright, so functionally speaking, we are now sealed in here. Nothing can really get in. It's not an airtight seal, don't get me wrong. But now we can start working on getting the supplies we need for the wattle daub. What sand do we have here? So this is andesite sand, which is for ashen or golden brown. Golden brown is going to be easier to do, just because red clay is more common than blue clay. We do have blue clay, I know, but I'd rather use our more abundant resources this early on. Make a shovel. Rope. There, we're surviving all right. Can I use this new sand for this? Or no? Oh no, I can. Okay. This is nice so that I don't have to tear up a shoreline. To kind of get the sand. Actually, do we have any coral out here? Just kind of curious. I don't know if everyone's seen a new coral reef yet. In the game. Honestly, it might be more down this way or even down this way too. They're kind of in these patches. Run all the way to the desert? I mean, yeah, you could do that. I don't really have a desert near me, though. The closest one's kind of up there. Or I can use clay sand, but... Alright, let's go get some red clay. Character's starting to get hungry too, which is... I still just don't have food. Living off berries can work for a while, but you know, the moment you kind of go through all your berry brushes in a small area, you're kind of like screwed. So why marking all your mushroom spots early on is just super important. Not good. I haven't really been back here, so I don't know what I'll find. I'm not seeing crops, I'm not seeing bushes. Really not seeing much at all. It's kind of interesting that these large forests don't have as much of a forest floor as other forest types. So if it's birch with oak and stuff, there's usually a lot more kind of mushrooms in there. Large forests I find to be pretty barren. Okay, this is bad. Could kill some chickens. That's a raccoon. Oh. Oh! You take that. Music's going so hard right now, man. Tell you what, that one deer we hunted earlier was almost a food bar. Or it was probably like 700 food almost. Why is your phone gonna keep you up all night, man? If you say it's because you're watching me, then joke's on you. I put people to sleep. Oh, fuck my life. Life just flashed before my eyes. Everyone wishing you a happy new year. Yeah, just turn that shit off. Peat is good cooking fuel. Since I never do anything for New Year, man, like, nah. If all my friends were like, "Oh, Happy New Year," I'd be like, "I'm turning this shit off." And go into bed, you know, like. We're getting shot at. Love to see it. Actually, that's something I haven't even checked. Are we in a temporally stable area where we're building? Fireworks are a big waste of money. If you can get some good ones, then, you know, they're fun. At this point in my life, like, though, like, all of these are kind of for like the kids. So like, you know, being a cool uncle with my brother's kids on like Christmas is my goal, rather than like celebrating Christmas for myself, you know? It would be the same thing for like New Year's. True. Let's get another storage basket. So one of the cool mods that I have installed is Real Smoke, which adds a lot more of a Valheim smoke mechanic to where you have to properly vent your rooms. This way, you know, there's asphyxiation is a thing. It'll actually look for a chimney and actually use it. The smoke effect particles could be a little big sometimes, so sometimes from outside it'll look like my whole roof's on fire. But I do like the more aggressive smoke, just from like a visual standpoint. Alright, we're gonna probably plant these the next day. Let's drop that off. Yeah, we'll see. I need to make some torches. There we go. Alright, so we have 13 sand. So if I get 13 dirt and 26 thatch, we can move on a little bit. So let's do that. I need to make a new sharpening stone. Nice. This is done. Just every morning, so long as I replace this torch, our house will have a light and a better fire starter. So that'll be good. Oh, this will look nice when it's daubed up. Might be easier if I do a cobble bottom round. A cobblestone one. It does seem like there's some things that's like such an early tech kind of thing in this game. That feels harder than like a low tech thing to make. Like cobblestone, I think is like, you know, why would I ever use daub instead of cobblestone in terms of efficiency to craft? Besides aesthetics, of course. I'm gonna blow my nose, God. Oh. This is true. If you don't care about efficiency, you know, I'm more on that side. Like I tend to be more aesthetic looks than efficiency, speed, or narrative. I think I care more about a narrative. Like there's a reason I'm doing this, not necessarily because I want to. I mean, I do, but like I have to ground it in something else. Alright, so that's that. Now I just need some grass. I'm gonna plant some more cattail. You're more function over form. Yeah, that's, you know, our good friend of the stream, Silent Knight's definitely more in that camp. I always give him crap. Yeah, I generally pick a theme, and then I just follow that theme. So I'm like, okay, well, today, or like this area is going to be a Viking theme. So it doesn't matter how long it takes me to get stuff. It's that's what the theme is, and so off I go. Man, I kind of want to do a Japanese theme again. Alright, we need 26, I think I said, of the grass. Alright, grass, clay, sand, dirt. That is not near enough, Dob. I'll tell you that right now. We'll just add one layer for now, just to get a block of it. So here's the thing, chat. We need to seal the roof and the wall. And you can do that by sacrificing a block and it will consume. So for example, if I take this daub block now down here, and I'm like, okay, well, I want this to be the base of this block, I can add it up there. So we're gonna move a lot of the daub that we just made up. Into the roof line instead, but I had to make it first to do this. Now, a lot of you are going to be like, well, I mean, you know, Uthris. Can't things just walk in now? Yes. Yes, they can. But this is that aesthetic over form that we were talking about just now. Or aesthetic over function. Jesus. God. Yeah, it's so open, it floats. Actually, I think, I mean, I will need a couple more, I think, but, I will be doing the cobble. You sound like I feel. I probably see it, sound and feel like you feel. Oh, death. Alright, so we need food. Huh. I don't know why. What happens every hour on the hour? I start like chuffing like this. The closest desert for cobble, the kind that we need, is up here. But we also need food, so it's a good opportunity to go for a little bit of a jog. I'm gonna go plant 22 cranberry bushes over here. Man, my voice. You guys have to be hating my voice today. I'm hating my voice today. No, I'm just sick. I don't have allergies. Which is, I'm super thankful for, but like, man. When I get sick, sometimes I don't take half measures. What is this? Interesting. Interesting little canyon there. Food. Sweet food. Yeah, if we do that land bridge, it is the fastest route. Let's get these guys. I'm gonna want to plant some turnips before long too. You really want to try and get your farming, in my opinion, at least a small farm, kind of online. Why am I getting chased by a shiver right now? I really don't want to be getting chased by a shiver right now. Oh, fuck you guy. Whatever. Bum, 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 bum. On a bit of a journey. Not seeing much mushrooms still. It says a maple. Okay, that's cool. Also, since we're doing a long run, you want to look out for this copper. Gotta be on the lookout for your copper bits. And your brown bears. Don't let your brown bears get your coppery bits, guys. Okay, don't do it. Oh, look, another fucking brown bear. Nope. Alright, we're gonna go the other route. On the way back. That's definitely confirmed. There's a bear no-go zone. Oh, nice. This oak is huge. Mark this. There's a trader nearby. Just go ahead and glance over here. Another treasure hunter, huh? Interesting. Alright, straight north. This area is pretty forested. Alright, cool. We're in the gravel desert. So these things are great for just getting stones. So why I came over here rather than just simply picking them up off the ground. I probably could have accomplished what I wanted to sooner. By not running all the way out here, but you know, we ran all the way out here. What do you want me to say? I did the thing. And we'll just bring back 3 stacks of stones. I think that's reasonable. Also, these areas are good for looking for like surface deposits too. Because there's less bushes, so those kind of surface or rock nuggets can kind of spawn in less of a obscured spot visually. See, I was playing for a friend and found a limestone shell desert that was full of incredibly rich malachite. That was fun. There you go. I like the malachite deposits over native copper. They're just kind of a cooler deposit to find. Find anything usable to make the tannin? Tanning is limestone. Well, the limestone makes tannin, bro. Got a little quartz rock here. Oh, well, yeah, you need oak. Oak's super common, though. Ish. I don't know what climate you're at. I don't think I've ever had an issue getting at least a bit of oak. Because if you find one oak tree, you can start planting them. Alright, we got plenty of rocks, so that's good. We could probably head back towards the base. 6K? You just travel in a straight line and that line just didn't have any oaks? Interesting weird altar-y thing. Ah. This song that's playing right now in the game makes me really think of like Final Fantasy music. Alright, so we'll be back over here, then we just head south, boom, 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 boom. Just literally one copper rock. Okay. We take that, I guess. It wasn't the worst save I played on. The one save I just had it on an island with no nearby landmasses and no copper. The Great Swim. Was that before like the raft and stuff too? See, like, I have our land cover set to 50%. It feels more like it's 70% for me. Swimming with the raft. Here, well, we got some more seeds. We'll go to do some cobblestone. Get the little foundation of our base done, and then we just have to do another layer of wattle. And then we are good to go there. I'm extremely lucky that I found this mountain range right off. Like, honestly, if I have to, I have to start over for my, do I have to, guys, should I just use this as episode 1 of the hardcore Let's Play, because I really like this valley. Me being sick, though, is the absolute worst. Oh my goodness, I shut the door. Alright, cool. We're back to being sealed in. Alright, we're gonna drop the fire down. I'm gonna lose some in interior space by doing this, but I really don't care. Again, I'm an aesthetic guy. How much is this? 6, 7, 8? Okay, that looks good. I might just do sand as my floor, with maybe a bit of a like 4 cobble mixed in, because I just have it here. So cobble there. This cobble. Need 1 to connect on a corner. I'll just do sand everywhere else. I'm fine with that solution. Let's get a couple tool racks. Replace our torch. Have some grain to eat. Store these seeds. Yeah, we're definitely getting there. What do you guys think of the lean-to? Or the idea of it? Does it give you guys kind of an idea for like a good starter house? Next time you play on save or something? It's just nice to save all this material for this wall. And it keeps the profile kind of low still. Yeah, it's definitely interesting. And then, you know, if you get a pick, you can kind of hollow out the boulder a little bit. Make a little chimney coming out of it. Really incorporate the landscape at that point. Have a little bit of a hobbit hole. I might extend the cobble all the way down here, too. Or I might expand the beach a little bit around here. I don't know. Let's see. We're going to have a pelt. Which I could upgrade to one more slot, but I kind of don't want to. Could also do a light shield. It has double the durability of, more than double, of the crude shield. Have to see how that plays out. Alright, so we just need more sand, more... Actually, we don't need more dirt. We need 14 sand, 14 dirt. No, 14 sand. 28 grass. And 14 clay. Also, we're going to need to gather sand for the house, too. Some medium rift night, but I'm not seeing any rifts right now. It helps that we're right on the water's edge, so, you know, nothing's really going to come from that direction. They're all going to kind of come up from up there. There's a cool new mod that came out recently, which adds like underwater Nautilus gear kind of stuff. That looks pretty cool. Like kind of old school diving suits. Yes, sneaky, sick Uthris stream. How's it going, Half Pint? Sound like I do? Man, everyone's fucking sick. $2025 whole vibe is what? We back in the COVID era? Are you sure about that? You guys probably can't see crap on stream. I can't see crap. I don't know why I'm out here this late. More draining. Yeah. Alright, we got the dirt, we got the sand, we got the grass. I just need red clay. Which is gonna be out here, but I swear I'm gonna run into a Jeff. Yep, there's a portal. I'm going to sleep. Going to sleep. No thanks. No, I mean, like, also, like, you know, with COVID, everyone was getting that instead of the flu. For the most part. And so the flu kind of, you know, died down in a major way. But it always comes back. I wonder if this is just kind of the year it comes back and people aren't ready for it as much as they used to in the past. Because it's been so long since everyone's kind of gotten sick. It's not like COVID helps with the influenza too, kind of stuff. Alright. I'm dying. Like, I would mute my mic so you guys don't have to hear me cough like this. But it's so constant that I could... I mean, it might as well just be a silent stream. Yeah, the coronavirus is different from influenza, right? I mean, it does a lot of the same stuff. It's a different virus. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. Adjacent, yeah, but like I don't, unless it's like the same strain, I don't think your immune system, like your antibodies from COVID do not really help you fight off influenza at all. I don't think so. Ah, yes. We are now sealed in. Yes. Um, let's break this so we can have a window out this side. And then this section and this section, so we can have kind of a double window kind of thing. What's the rough hewn nowadays? Log, log, stick, stick? What? Hold on. Ah. There we go. All right, we got some light. That's good. Have I tried the glass roof mod? No. But this version of VS Roof has glass roofs. Actually, here, I'll just show you. Glass block offhand and a hammer on see if I can do a hammer real quick. Just so we can see. Board. What is what glass? Talking about this? This? The sight glass is vanilla. It's a clutter piece. Anyways, I just all right, hold on one second. Roof. for some reason boards are just getting placed on the ground and not actually letting me place that. So okay, well, that's stick. I have to use the sticks, I guess, for now. Stick. Read. No, cattail. For some reason, this is the only one that works. And boom. So this is the glass. Obviously, if we could use the other frame, that would be better. But this is... But that looks nice. Right? Another cool thing that you can do with the new one roof mod is, let me just, I don't know why I'm doing this, is you can actually do eaves as well. Not that one, I want eve left, I guess. Doing that. Oh, oh, oh. I need some rest. This isn't the right mode. Maybe it's standard right. Yeah, standard right. So here, okay, well that's not what I wanted. You see, you can get a little overhang as well with the new one roof mod. You can do an actual true half block overhang on a roof. That's pretty cool. What other mods do we have installed right now that you guys might be interested in seeing since we're in creative mode? Obviously we have Equus installed. Cartwright Caravan. Rustbound Magic, which apparently has wands now. Draconis. Quivers and sheaths. Some armory stuff. We have firearms. Again, which is nice. Slug. 38 damage. Wow, 38 damage. If you shoot it out of a musket, it freaking Does 63% more damage than that. Food shells. Mill rate. Oh, yeah, there's this too. So with combat overhaul, you're really punished in combat overhaul for offhand. So I went ahead and downloaded this mod, which is wearable lights. So it's a head slot item that it takes fuel to work, but you don't have to carry your lantern in your offhand. And you can toggle it on and off as well. So, you know, depending on the upgrade and stuff, they last for different durations and things. There's also different colors if people want different colors. Yep. Butchering, breeders, mill rate. Yeah, that's basically most of the mods that we have, I would say, but look, it's 10 p.m., guys. My stamina is already drained just because of being sick and stuff. Do I want to continue this specific run into the single player save? I don't know. It'll be a while until I can start recording that anyways. So I just don't know. When that'll happen. I do want to do a single player save, a hardcore one. With the man, this terrain over here is crazy, yo. It's crazy. But regardless, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get some rest. I don't work tomorrow, so I can sleep in. And in the meantime, I hope everyone else has a great and awesome New Year's in 2026 upcoming. Thanks everyone again for all the support through the years. I really appreciate it. Even though I'm, I guess semi-retired is what Lumberjack and Dirty always make fun of me for, and Raptor. But I'm gonna go ahead and just throw you guys over to Red for now. Give him a new woo when you get there. Thanks everyone for watching. See you guys real soon. Have some pancakes.